What's up, people? I'm back with part 2 of Smallville. Now, let's see, where were we? Yeah, the time for Superman. Well, it all started back in 1938. Well, 32 actually, because that's when Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster was starting to work with this. Then 6 years later, 38, it came out in Action Comics #1. That's the first time no one ever saw Superman. Superman, the man, the dude, yeah, that's all of it. Well, of course, it was adjusted to the time, so it was the 30s, but then things started to happen in the 50s, and the 40s, and the 60s, and then the Superboy series in '89, and the Lois and Clark series in in the mid '90s. You know, we got a weird timeline here because, as far as I know, everything is also adjusting to the new time. So you really don't know where it's supposed to be taking time. I mean, you really can't tell. So, and of course, Smallville is the 21st century, or whatever you guys want to call it, 2002, when the whole series started up, 2001, at the beginning anyway. So it's kind of a weird timeline, I must say, but we can all adjust to no matter which time it is, because as far as I know, Superman has always been cool. And let's see what's next. Lionel Luthor, that's right. Lex Luthor's father. Well, I didn't even know that Lex had a father. When I first heard him say, "Dad," I was, say, what? He had a father? Of course he had to have a father, but until Smallville, I have never even heard about the word Lionel, or name. Anyone has never even mentioned. Jesus Christ. You know, to be completely honest with you guys, I had no fucking idea that he had a father, or even a mother. But it all comes out in Smallville. It's kind of like the third movie in a trilogy. You know, with the third one, it always comes to the truth. You can find out everything. You'll find everything. Everything comes true. But you know, one thing I must say about Lionel Luthor is he's one cruel son of a bitch. I think he's one of the reasons to why Lex is evil, because he's been taught that way. But in the 10th season, I think, he says one fucking awesome thing right before he kills his father. Lex, that is. No one is ever going to remember you, Dad. Not even your name. And then, he flies out the window and dies. Once and for all. Because apparently Lex found out that the day when he lost his hair and got super immunity, well, because he was never sick, he lost his asthma and his hair. That was planned because he needed to have a strong son, and I really don't know. But let's move on to the next thing. The costume. Well, the costume never shows up. Well, he's wearing red. And in the first season, Chloe says that blue is a good color on him. And it makes sense. It does. It really does make sense. So, he's not even wearing it until the 10th season, or the 9th season, I think. Because he sees the suit, and I think he wears it eventually, but he hasn't done that yet. I think that's going to be like the final episode. He and the Justice League, or whatever you call those guys, Impulse, Cyborg, and whatever you call those guys. Cyborg, that's more like Teen Titans or something, I don't know. So let's just see, he'll put on the suit eventually. And Supergirl. From my knowledge, Superman never saw Supergirl until he actually became Superman. During the Superboy time, he never met Supergirl. To my knowledge, if I'm wrong, type down here, please. Sorry. But there's a kind of cool thing I find out, because I got all the Superman movies and Superman Returns. You know, did you ever wonder which time he left Earth and came back? Well, you can obviously figure out when he came back, but when did he leave and why? Well, if you pay attention at the beginning, well, not at the beginning, but after when Linda Lee arrives to the school, some radio guys is saying that it's 1984 and Superman has left Earth for a mission. That means he's gone now, but then he comes back, which is Superman Returns. That's kind of a cool thing, don't you think? I think it's pretty fucking hilarious. Awesome. And that's it, I guess. That's all I have to say about Smallville for now. I might do a little video later about more things that disturbs me. I would like to finish up with talking about a little more about kryptonite. Because kryptonite has always been different. It's always been weird. It's always had different things. Like, let's talk about the most weirdest one. Let's talk about red kryptonite. Because as far as I know, red kryptonite was introduced as something that changes Superman. Well, that was into anything, but not mentally, physically. Because it could turn into an ant, make him big-headed, turning him into a monster, turning into anything. Turn him physically into something. But if you take a look at the Lewis and Clark series, he just becomes apathetic, doesn't care about anything. You know, like, there's a girl over here, red kryptonite, cool. I'm gonna go show off my muscles, yeah, no problem at all. Let's see what we got here. That's cool, kind of cool. But then in another episode in season 3, Ultra Woman, while he's holding Lois Lane, he's being attacked with a laser that's powered up by red kryptonite, and it transfers his powers to her. Then her powers to the bad girl, then the bad girl back to him. So in this series, I think it depends on which way you're using it. Like in a laser, power transfer, just having it around, you know, just being close to it, like being hurt by green kryptonite, by just being around, he becomes apathetic. But otherwise, he just changes physically. You know, giant ant, big head, a twin, anything. It's all pretty random, if you ask me. And green kryptonite, sure, he gets hurt, but there's also been another thing in Smallville. You can change a human being, like mutate him into something, like making them be able to make people forget, or making them believing that they're turning into monsters, hallucinations, or maybe just something else, or just give the superpowers depending on what happens. So that's kind of a cool thing. Of course, there's a bunch of other kryptonites, but if I get a chance, I think I'll talk about it in a different video. So, that's all I have to say for now. Oh, one more thing. Bizarro and blue kryptonite. If you've seen that scene, that's pretty fucking awesome, because Lois literally blows this guy up because he touches blue kryptonite. That has never happened before. As far as I know, blue kryptonite makes a Bizarro, a clone of a Kryptonian, gets hurt because of that. So it's the same thing as green K goes to Superman and blue K goes to Bizarro. But in Smallville, it just shuts down his powers and takes away his pain for green kryptonite. But we'll talk about that another time. So, that's all I have to say for now. This was Smallville. I'm Captain Syndrome. I hope you had a good time. I sure had. And until next time, something you really should is to believe that Smallville is good. Because it really is. Sayonara!